Fox 5 News at 10 starts right now.
North Georgia bracing for an impactful and potentially damaging widespread storm. We'll tell you everything we know so far about the storm's track, who could get the brunt of the destruction, and how state officials are preparing now to keep you safe through the weekend. All that and more is just minutes away, coming up here on Fox 5 News at 10. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Courtney Bryant. We want to get straight out to the forecast and everything we know so far about this storm. Chief Meteorologist David Chanley has been busy in the Weather Center. David, tracking all of these up to the last minute changes.
Yeah, what we're seeing, Courtney, I don't like what we're seeing because we're going to see increasing ice totals, I think, through the weekend. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. It is an ice storm. We're going to expect significant impacts with this for your Saturday, Sunday, and lingering into Monday for sure. Long duration of freezing rain. That is falling as liquid, freezing on contact, creating ice, and that's going to produce high ice totals, just the sheer duration of this event. It's not like just a splash and dash. This is something that's going to linger for a while. We have that winter storm watch in effect. It includes most of metro Atlanta, right into North Georgia. It's from 1 a.m. Saturday right on into Monday morning, and you've got ice accumulations 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch. That's massive, and it does not include down here, friends down to the south. They'll probably just get a cold rain in places like Thomaston and LaGrange. They may get a little bit of a sleet mixed in, but for the most part, this is a North Georgia event that includes, indeed, the metro Atlanta area. So we've had a couple showers out there tonight. That's no big deal. Few lingering here on your Friday. That's no big deal. This out here to our west is. So what's going to happen? The high is going to pump in that cold air. We'll be right around freezing and below as we get into Saturday afternoon. Presto, we see several waves of freezing rain, the bulk of it being in here Saturday night, overnight Saturday, on into Sunday. That's when we're going to get the high totals of ice accumulation. Now, the system's going to slide on through along about Sunday, still holding on to that wedge of colder air. The northern and northeastern suburbs could see some more icing, while the rest of the area could see some rain before it changes back over very briefly with a colder air in here Sunday night into Monday. It is a dynamic system for sure. We're going to go through those totals, go through the temperatures, and the wind. That's going to be a big factor as well. All that coming your way in a few minutes.
All right, David, we'll see you in a bit. Thanks. While the storm is still 2 days away, state officials and GDOT crews are already busy preparing. Governor Kemp has declared a state of emergency for all 159 Georgia counties over the next 7 days. The State Operations Center will activate at 7 Saturday morning. As for GDOT, they say brine trucks will be staged, salt barns stocked, and road teams preparing statewide. State officials still say if you don't have to be out on the roads, don't be.
We're prepared, but do not mistake our preparedness as an invitation for you to be on the road.
We just want all of Georgia to be winter aware, and certainly people in central Georgia. You could be impacted if the temperatures stay above freezing.
GEMA will hold a news conference tomorrow afternoon, during which we will get another update from state officials on how they are preparing. With power outages expected to be a big part of the storm, Georgia Power says their crews are also getting ready. They're urging customers to brace for possible power outages. Fox 5's Larry Spruill is live for us in Midtown Atlanta. And Larry, you spoke with Georgia Power. What did they have to say?
Well, Courtney, Georgia Power says this storm is way different than last weekend, and their crews are preparing for multiple scenarios like down power lines and ice on the road.
The biggest thing that we ask people to do during this storm is prepare for the possibility of a 2 to 3 day outage.
It's a stern warning, but it's all about preparation, says Matthew Kent with Georgia Power. He says if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
We want to make sure that all of our headquarters like this are manned, make sure that they are prepared for whatever may come.
Kent says they have been watching the forecast all week.
Now, Georgia Power already has crews placed throughout the state, but they will be able to move those crews to areas where they need them the most.
Now that we see that the northern portion of the state will be a little bit more impacted, we're starting to shift some crews north, but again, the storm could shift.
Georgia is expected to deal with icy conditions this weekend.
With the threat of ice, there could be more damage to trees just due to the weight of ice, and in turn could be more damage to power lines.
That could affect crews as well.
Georgia Power trucks are equipped with ice tires, the studded tires, and snow chains if we need that. However, safety is their number one value. So we want to make sure that everyone is being safe. If there are trees down along a road, if it's incredibly icy, we may not be able to go out until Georgia Department of Transportation is able to clear it.
But Kent says in case of widespread outages, they're asking people to be patient.
If your power goes out, go check the Georgia Power outage map first thing. You can do it on your phone. You can do it if you don't have internet. We do look towards schools. This is a weekend, but schools, hospitals, those kind of big, those major infrastructure items that really need power. And then next we will look at the largest number of people that we can restore power to the quickest.
And Georgia Power says crews will work quickly and safely throughout the weekend. We are live in Midtown Atlanta tonight. I'm Larry Sproul, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, so reassuring to see that they're doing what they can now to get ready. Larry, thanks. Grocery stores and retailers across the metro have seen a rush as customers stock up on essentials, among them the Chamblee Walmart Supercenter. Shoppers there say they came to get prepared. Food, ice melt, batteries, flashlights, and cold weather gear were among the most popular items. The store's manager says they prepared for the rush of crowds by bringing in extra trucks to be sure they were stocked. And as David mentioned earlier, Athens could get hit hard by the storm. Tonight, UGA is urging all students to leave campus after class tomorrow and say the university will likely remain closed on Monday. School officials say residence halls will stay open for those who cannot leave. But they say if there are power outages, water line breaks, or other complications from the storm, they may have to consolidate students into temporary housing. It sounds simple, but do you actually know when to call 911? Ahead of the storm, Atlanta police are reminding people when you should and should not call first responders, saying you should only call 911 during a true emergency. If you see a tree blocking the road or flooding, they say call 311. Report any power outages or down power lines to Georgia Power. And if your internet is down, call your service provider. As the storm approaches, several schools, businesses, and events are adjusting plans for the weekend. Head to fox5atlanta.com or the Fox Local app. We have this article breaking down all the possible changes and cancellations. And don't forget, while you're there, you can also watch David's full forecast or check Live Viper radar, even if you lose power. Let's give you these live looks at some different areas across the metro where things are calm and quiet tonight. Dalton, Sandy Springs, the airport, up at Lake Lanier. But we all know that in the days ahead, that picture is going to change and change a lot. Here with Chief Meteorologist David Chanley. If it's indication, I went out to the grocery store just to get something really quick tonight, and the line was to the back of the store. There wasn't a single loaf of bread left on the shelves. I mean, people seem to be taking this seriously.
Well, I hope so, because we haven't had an ice event like this since back in 2014, and that was right after the Snowmageddon that got all the headlines. Well, after that, about 3 weeks later, we had a big-time ice event where things were shut down for a little while. People lost power, and I think that's going to be repeated in a lot of spots. So we'll get to it, show you the latest information that we have. Nothing like that tonight nor tomorrow. It's kind of got gearing up for the weekend. Look at the temperatures out there now. We would take this over the weekend for sure. Readings in the 40s and some light rain, but that is not going to be the case. All right, so here's where the heavier showers are at this moment, kind of out to the south and east of Metro Atlanta. Fox 5 Live Viper's got them covered up there. That's out in Butts County, a little bit in Jasper, heading out Greene County, just to the north of Lake Oconee, and around the Athens area, a little light rain. And it should scoot on out. We're rainy at the airport right now. Temperature is at 48. Hit 51 about 4 o'clock this afternoon. 44 was the low this morning. A dew point in the 40s. Well, we're going to change all that. We got some showers on Friday, and then the winter precipitation begins Saturday morning right on through Sunday. We got a major ice storm for some in North Georgia. This is no joke, all right? Look at the ice impacts just on Saturday alone with that cold air nosing down from the northeast. And so the northern and northeastern reaches of metro Atlanta will get the first brunt of it, and then it'll spread to the rest of us, a lot of us there, along about, say, Sunday morning. So here we go. All right, buckle up. Now, I got scattered showers out there tonight. They should be ending, and just a few in here for your Friday. Friday afternoon, we'll try to get up near 50 degrees again. Then the wind shifts and changes. Here comes the east wind. Look at the temperatures on Saturday. It will be warmer the first part of the day, and then we start falling. Now, the question is, when are we going to hit freezing and below? That's a great question. Some areas in northeast Georgia probably hit it right around lunchtime. We may hit it latter stages of the afternoon. Then the precipitation falls in that colder air and then starts freezing on contact. I really think the bulk of that is going to be Saturday night into early Sunday morning. This is when it gets really messy, right on into early Sunday. Temperatures perhaps down into the 20s, by Sunday morning. And then Sunday afternoon, we'll look for this warm nose to come our way, but I just don't know if it's going to penetrate the wedge or not, how long the wedge is going to stick around. And then let's talk about the wind. Yeah, when the wedge sets up, coming up out of the east, look at the gusts, 20, 25 miles an hour. That's going to continue Saturday night on into Sunday. So if you have weight on trees and power lines due to the ice, this is just going to make that worse. Kind of blowing it around. It's going to be windy all the way into your Monday. Okay, so a couple looks. Put all this together. The ice modeling. How much ice would you have on a horizontal surface? That's how we measure it. And so can you imagine maybe a quarter to a half inch on trees and power lines, and maybe up to an inch in some areas there in northeast Georgia. That was the American model. The European model, remember, this is the one that was taking everything north. Well, now it's kind of zeroing in up there in northeast Georgia on a major ice event. And then one of our in-house models here that we use still has quite a bit of ice across the region, quarter to a half inch in a lot of spots. So this is going to be something else to watch this unfold. But we're pretty confident right now we're going to be dealing with an ice event in here Saturday on into Sunday, and then staying really cold on Monday. So I don't know what the roads are going to look like Monday and Tuesday morning, but temperatures are going to be just bitter, bitter cold. We'll update all this for you coming up in just a bit.
All right, David, thanks. And just like the rest of us, firefighters have been watching the weather closely. Cold, icy conditions create unique challenges when it comes to fighting fires. Fox 5's Denise Dillon is live in Cobb County. And Denise, whatever this storm brings, they know they need to be prepared to answer the calls.
Yeah, cold is one thing. Ice changes everything and can make their job even more dangerous. That's why they've been watching the weather to make sure they're prepared.
Extreme cold does produce many challenges for firefighting operations.
For firefighters, working in the biting cold is hard. Icy conditions make it worse. Just responding to a call can be treacherous if the roads are slick.
Driving through those conditions is tough. That's why every apparatus in the county has snow chains.
Even if the roads are passable, once they're at the scene, the water sprayed on the fire creates sheets of ice on the pavement. Ice clings to helmets, clothing, and equipment.
As we fight the fire, our ladders will freeze up. Our people will wind up coated in ice.
Fortunately, every firefighter has 2 sets of gear.
Extra gloves, extra hoods, extra boots. So they'll be able to get back to the station and change into fresh gear and get dry before the next fire.
With the potential for more calls than normal, senior staff members will be in the 911 center to help direct calls. And they'll have extra staff on duty in these 4-wheel drive pickups with chainsaws.
We're trying to be proactive and get small units, quick response units out to take care of problems that they can handle versus sending a fire engine.
Cobb County fire officials say their plans may change as we get a clearer picture of the weather. But no matter what happens, they'll be ready to respond.
We have people, we have training, we have equipment. We are there to protect the citizens of Cobb County, and our people will do whatever it takes to get the job done.
And since we really don't have that many cold and icy days here in Georgia, veteran firefighters tell me most of what they've learned about working in the ice cold weather comes from experience. Reporting live in Cobb County, Denise Stillen, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, it just gives you that much more appreciation for what they do. Denise, thanks. It's not too late to get your house ready for this weekend's storm. Many HVAC companies say they are extremely busy helping North Georgia families get ready to have heat this winter. Scott Patton has worked in the HVAC industry for more than 30 years, and he says now is the time to make sure your home is ready for the bitter cold, starting with changing your heating filter. He says change it to make sure that the heating system is working efficiently. Drip your faucets and cover outside pipes to prevent them from bursting.
By keeping the water moving in your pipes, it will not freeze. It's harder for water that's moving to freeze than water that's standing still. So with the constant drip, that means there is water moving, so it is less likely to freeze.
He says if you're planning on using a portable generator, make sure you leave it outside your home. Inside, keep your thermostat set to 68 degrees. And as a reminder, if you have weekend travel plans, many airlines are offering travel waivers or waiving change fees. Delta Airlines says passengers flying through Atlanta and other affected regions can rebook flights for earlier or later dates without paying a change fee or a fare difference, provided travel is completed by January 28th. American and United are also offering travel waivers. Check with your carrier about any potential flight delays or cancellations.